Sweat was great as a force player versus the run. He's so underrated in that area. Relentless. Because of that knee that was just pretty much shredded in high school.
Mm-hmm.
He takes these giant steps. He doesn't take baby steps. He's a big guy at 6'5", but he 6'4", 6'5", whatever he is. But he takes longer strides. But man, he's got it down. They had trouble with him. And 7, Reddick had some good quality rushers in the game. Cox blew up the run game. I think I'll tell you what, the underrated part of this game is how the interior, actually, I'm sorry, the front got to the rush. They did a very good job. They cleaned up for
Mm-hmm.
White and Edwards. They did a good job there, no doubt about it. And that's why the Eagles were good, because when they've struggled against the run, it's sometimes when they don't clean up front, and when your inside linebackers are, because they play 2 inside backers, when they're smaller, and when you don't clean them up, when you got a back that maybe is weigh as much as some of these guys do, particularly White, because you're White, it becomes a little bit problematic. So you don't want them running with their head of steam, and they did a great job. You got to give them credit. I thought the D line actually in this game, from what I understand, actually did a nice job.
Yeah.
It's they just, the back end for some reason just did not get the job done.
No, it didn't. You mentioned that great interception by Josh Sweat and how good he's been. He's been unbelievable this year. The Eagles have done a really good job of getting the most out of him in his development. He's done a great job, yet still sort of carefully monitoring just how much he's going to play. When he signed that contract 2 years ago, he had only been he was a backup at that point, a situational pass rusher who was playing about 35 to 45% of the snaps per game. And we wondered about that knee that you were talking about with the history and how they were monitoring him throughout his career, how he would be able to play a lot more snaps. And it sort of feels like he's out there all the time, but he's actually only averaging 60% of the snaps, whereas Hassan Reddick plays closer to like 72, 75% of the snaps. So they do a good job of getting BG in there, getting Patrick Johnson in there in these little spurts to be able to give Sweat a little bit of rest.